He's cooking.
Call it Rockingham Speedway, North Carolina Motor Speedway, or just The Rock. Rockingham is among stock car racing's most historic tracks. Opened in October of 1965, Rockingham hosted two NASCAR Grand National, now Cup Series races, annually until 2004, when it was dropped from the schedule of NASCAR's Premier Series. During those 4 decades, a virtual who's who of stock car racing visited Victory Lane at Rockingham, beginning with Curtis Turner, winner of the 1965 inaugural American 500, and going on to include Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby Allison, Cal Yarborough, Darrell Waltrip, Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, with Matt Kenseth taking the final win in 2004. Opened as a flat 1-mile oval, Rockingham underwent a major overhaul in 1969 when it was reconfigured to a D-shaped high bank track measuring just over 1 mile, with an infield road course added for good measure. Track surface has proven to be particularly abrasive, adding tire conservation to the track's already daunting challenges. In recent years, Rockingham has played host to NASCAR's Craftsman Truck Series, ARCA Series, Wayland Southern Modified Tour, and UARA Stars Late Model Series. Tonight, it's race number 2 of the Noble Racing Series. It's coming up next on HBR TV. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Rockingham Speedway for tonight's Noble Racing Series second race of the season. Let's take a look at the race details for tonight. 130 laps the race distance, 75-degree ambient temperature, 48% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 3-mile-per-hour breeze, and track temperature about 94 degrees Fahrenheit before we get things underway here tonight. Practice just about wrapped up here at the Speedway. Let's go down trackside to see where everyone's lined out. Best time so far is indeed the 3:15 of Zach Millett, a 23:67. Not too far behind, though, the 3 of Brian McCann. Notable to that point, Millett's fast, but he's going to the back here tonight, as well as some other drivers with some penalties to be concerned with. We'll take a look at those. Of course, Millett, we just mentioned. Neil Quick, also fast in this session. He'll have to go to the back. Eddie Rose, Vincent Short, Chris Goins, and Mark Truxell. 6 drivers starting tonight's race from the tail of the field. We'll see if they've got enough, well, gusto, I guess you could say, to make their way through this field and still try to take over a win, or will it be Brian McCann with no win penalty? Going to be fast here tonight for sure. See if he can secure a victory in the second race of the season. Will Hewitt, number 33 entry. Just about a minute left in the practice session. Jump right into qualifying as soon as it's completed. Got Matt Sisler in the stream chat. Looking forward to this one. Should be fun in the Celsius Kia. Got Chris Fahey. I'm just here to watch Tristan wreck. We got Allison Rose says, let's go, baby Tucker. NS Vengeance, W Tucker. Good to have you guys here in the chat. And there it is. Clock strikes 0 on the practice session. Millett will effectively win practice. Not that it's competitive, but some guys like to pay attention to that sort of thing. Mike Tucker seems to be the first one to roll into pit lane and first one to roll out of pit lane. Start his qualifying attempt. Green flag in the air for Mike Tucker, number 39. Down through turns 1 and 2. Trying to get the power down. You can see those front tires just chasing the race car up the racetrack already. Don't know really what to expect the first few laps of this race. Could get scary. We'll see. Tucker off turn 4 at the stripe. Finishes up lap number 1. 24.014 for Mike Tucker. Starts it off top of the board. Tristan Sykes, number 99, at 24.72, his first lap. Millett goes P2, 24.03. Second lap for Tristan Sykes in the books. First, 24 flat for the 99. Back across the line, Zach Millett takes the top spot, 23.833 for the 315. Brian McCann, lap 1 done. Lap 2, I don't know if he had a problem, but he's not going to run that second time by. McCann's a 23.836 outside front row, but it's not going to matter. Again, Millett, regardless of his time, is going to have to go to the back at the start. 23.89 for Neil Quick. Healthy starting position for the 2. Matt Sisler in the Celsius Kia. To each their own, I guess. 24.17 for Matt Sisler. Sisler out of Oakland, Michigan. Sits P6 for the time being. Mike Fahey out of Ilion, New York. 24.552 his first lap. He's working the backstretch now. Currently in the top 5. It's Millett, McCann, Quick, Sykes, and the 39 of Mike Tucker. .423. Fahey picks up a bit, jumps into the top 10, P9. Will Hewitt, the 33, out of Mayfield, New York. We'll see what kind of time Hewitt can drop down. Slides way up the racetrack. Oh, big correction. That's going to kill that lap. He might want to just take her easy. 24.36 on the first lap, even with the mistake out of 4. He's still in the gas. We'll see if he can pick it up here in the second lap. Cleaner exit to 4. Does he improve? He does. Fourth fast for Will Hewitt. 23.996 for the 33. Will Hewitt. Quick recovery, quick lap on the second time by. Chris Goins off of 4. 24.17. Does he improve at all? He does. 7th quick. 24.057. Stub Nation showing up in the chat for Timmy Stubblefield. Timmy out 11 in Tennessee, and he's in trouble. Pulls a Kyle Larson save here, just smacks the right rear on the fence. It's going to kill this lap. We'll see if he can improve. Stubblefield very cautious through 4 there. Let's see what he has. Should be an okay lap to lock him into the field for sure. He's 16th, 25.507. That's going to be it. Lap 1 invalidated. Joe Tucker across the line. 24.57 for his first lap. Does he have time to get the second one in? He might be close. second lap for Tucker. It's quicker, 11th fast, 24.172. We got a few drivers that haven't taken the time yet as we're halfway through the time scheduled for qualifying. Looks like Jesse Redding, Matt Kopp, Chris Elliott, Mark Truxell, and Doug Wysocki opting to not take a time, at least to this point. With that, we're going to step aside here, get a break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Like Millet might have won this. He did by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon. That S4 guy off turn 4 for the final time sees the checkered flag. It waves. It belongs to the 315. Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short... Back at Rockingham Speedway, let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 23.833 seconds. It's the 3:15 of Zach Millett. Outside front row, Brian McCann missed by 0.003 of a second, but never mind. He's going to go to the front as Millett has to go to the back for his penalty. Row number 2, it's Neil Quick and Will Hewitt. Neil Quick also having to go to the tail of the field. Tristan Sykes, Michael Tucker, 5th and 6th. Chris Goins, Brandon Mefford, 7th and 8th. Goins also going to the tail. Drew Blaze, Matt Sisler will start 9th and 10th, respectively. Joe Tucker starts 11th. Vincent Short starting 12th, but will also go to the back. Jesse Redding starts 13th. Mike Fahey starting 14th. 15 starter Eric Beadle. Eddie Rose will start 16th, also going to the back. Alan DeFree starts 17th. No penalty for the 71. Tim Stubblefield, the number 92, he starts in the 18th spot. 19 starter Drew Prowl. Mark Truxell will start 20th. He also getting dinged with an EOL. Doug Wysocki starting 21st. Matt Kopp 22nd. Last but not least, the 29 of Chris Elliott. He'll start shotgun on the field in the number 23rd position. Again, all that's going to get changed up a bit with multiple drivers. Zach Millett, Neil Quick, Eddie Rose, Vincent Short, Chris Goins, and Mark Truxell all going to the tail to start the race today. So should be going green the next time by. Millett's going to need to drop down. I'm assuming we're going to go 2 laps to get these EOLs out of the way. We'll see. Surprised, actually. We're working the backstretch here, and I don't think any of these drivers have gone to the tail just yet. Millett's still there. Quick's still there. Chris Goins. Still side by side here. Curious to see how they're going to handle this, if they're going to go an extra lap, because at this point, there's no way they're going to get it done in time. Oh, maybe it's the second stage. That could be the case. Green flag in the air. We're racing here from Rockingham. Forget the EOLs. We're not there yet. 40 laps is the stage. We'll worry about it then. Lap 1 of the book, Zach Millett out in front, Brian McCann second, Neil Quick third, Will Hewitt fourth, the 39 of Michael Tucker rounding out the top 5, up 1 position already. Brandon Mefford in 6th, down a couple. Millett running the high line through 3 and 4 at a minimum. We'll see if he's doing the same into turns 1 and 2. An argument here for position between the 83 of Brandon Mefford and Matt Sisler, the number 93. This would be for the 6th position. It's right on board with the 93 here. You really learn how careful you need to be on throttle in these Gen 4 Cup cars, especially here at Rockingham. Place is going to chew up tires if you're not careful. It's going to chew up tires regardless. But if you start getting aggressive with the gas pedal, you're going to have some issues, especially with those rear tires. Checking on Drew Prowl in the number 80 machine. He's already up 4 spots in P15. front, not much has changed here. Already 7 laps in from the Rock. Zach Millett in front of Brian McCann. Neil Quick, Will Hewitt, Mike Tucker still the top 5. Nothing is really any different there. Mefford still in 6th. Sisler still in 7th. Then it's Drew Blaze, Tristan Sykes, Chris Goins rounding out the top 10. Sideways to the front stretch. We did for a moment. It's Michael Tucker who was in trouble. Let's just back it up. That's the only way we can really look at this one, but he got the rear end sideways, exited turn 4. We'll watch it here at slower speeds. Just trying to get the power down a little bit sooner than anybody else, and it didn't work out. Hits the bumps there. It's just a combination of this track's pretty bumpy. This car's got a lot of power and not a whole lot of grip for that power to lay it down onto the speedway. Tucker gets to the gas here, and it just starts to come around. He catches it early enough. He can lock up the tires here and straighten it back out, but he's just added a ton of heat, especially to those rear tires. It's going to make it tough to get going here and keep being able to turn some decent laps until you can get those tires cooled off. It's difficult to do at pace, certainly under green flag conditions. Tucker goes from P5 back into the 13th spot with that small mistake. Doesn't take much. Another big wiggle off it too. It's kind of what we're talking about. Getting those tires heated up more than you really want them to be. It's a very difficult task to get them cooled down until they start gripping again. Plus you got to worry about the fact he could have flat spotted them. He's going to have to deal with it. We're real early on here. We are already on a limited number of tire sets to begin with. 2 sets over the wall. Going to have to make him last as long as he can. Vincent Short up into the top 10, started 12th. Slowly but surely working his way towards the front. Chris Goins ahead of him in the 9th position, down 2 spots. Top 4 still unchanged. Millett, McCann, Quick, and Hewitt. Joe Tucker in the 11th spot where he started. Vincent Short taking a look at the inside of Tristan Sykes. He goes to the bottom. Sykes gives him the space on the low side. Still side by side out of turn 2. 4, that is. Joe Tucker is trying to make a move there on Vincent Short. Got almost into that left rear quarter. Still watching this fight. Sykes has the 9th position still. Short unable to complete the pass, at least for the time being. Wow, Joe Tucker driving it way deep into that corner. He's going to kill that right in front if he's not careful. Mike Tucker closing back in, now tucks in behind Joe Tucker, the number 13. Joe makes a look to the bottom here on Vincent Short. Short's going to ride it up the racetrack, should have the run on corner exit. Mike Tucker now alongside the 13. Little wiggle off turn number 2. It's going to give the advantage back to Joe Tucker. Gotta say, I'm really impressed with the 39 of Michael Tucker here after having that moment on a turn 4 a handful of laps ago. Overheated the tires a bit, but he's regrouped, rebounded nicely. Back running in the 11th position. Sorry, 12th position behind Joe Tucker. Meanwhile, back out front, Millett still your race leader. Just about a 1.5-second lead back to the 3 of Brian McCann. Last lap for Millett was a 24:57 versus Brian McCann was a 24:72. Not talking a whole lot of time there, but every single lap you're about a tenth and a half up on the guy behind you. As the last lap, they both run the exact same time at 24:73. But it does add up. Millett a little bit slower that time. McCann's able to cross off about a tenth and a half. Still a 1.3, 1.4 second advantage for that S4 guy, the 315, sporting the Audi colors this week. Millett approaching Eddie Rose here, some more lap traffic. Eddie in the HBR Shops Ford Mustang. Tucker still hanging tough in the 11th spot. Earl Prowl is taking the spot away from Mike Tucker, moves Mike back into the 13th position. Jesse Redding on the attack as well. He's trying to move up, take that spot away. I got to wonder how much damage really has been done to the tires underneath that number 39 machine of Mike Tucker. That not even a full spin, but doesn't take a whole lot. Have an opportunity here shortly to make at least the pit stop during the stage. Maybe he changes them out, maybe he doesn't. It's hard to say. At the very least, it's going to allow him to get him cooled down. Fahey back in P16 outside of Eric Beadle, the 119 on the low side. Alan DeFries in behind the both of them as they continue to fight for position. This be for the 15th spot. Fahey gets on by, takes that position. Now the battle between DeFries and Beadle. Takes it with ease. Beadle now back in the 17th spot.
Caution south.
And caution on the speedway. 22 of Matt Kopp in trouble. 29 laps in, so still shy of the stage. We're going to have a quick shootout to get us to the end of the stage, I believe. I'm going to take this moment to ask you guys in the stream chat, if you haven't already done so, please find the stream buttons, I guess you could call it, in the YouTube channel. Find the like button, give it a click. It's free to do, and it helps us immensely, whether it's us here at the channel or the league itself. Likes make the world go round. If you can help us out, we do appreciate it. Of course, as we said, it's free to do. So let's get a look at it. What happened here with Matt Kopp as the yellow has come out for the first time, short of the first stage. Kopp across the line here. I thought this was out of turns 3 and 4, but it looks like it's into 1. Does he just get crossed up on entry? He does. Slides up the track. Stubblefield was just running his line, but the 22 gets in the fence, and it really woes him up. So Stubbs gets in there, makes contact. Let's get a look at it again here from the blimp. Yeah, he was loose at the start-finish line. He was chasing this race car all the way down into one. And I don't know if he just intentionally drove it up the racetrack to help straighten the car back out. I don't know what the deal there was, but he was definitely trying to save it all the way back across start-finish. Slid up the racetrack into one, gets the fence, and unfortunately for Timmy Stubblefield, he gets collected as well. Some drivers opting to pit, Drew Blaze being one of them. Blaze running the LSR Gaming X colors on that #1 Mustang. That is a good-looking race car, I must say. Now, I know in the past Drew has painted his own race cars, but it's got the Fahey Race Wraps logo on it, so this could be a Mike Fahey design. We'll see. Either way, it looks sharp. Chris Elliott down pit lane, number 29. Gotta wonder if some of these guys are just saying, you know, I'm gonna try and short pit the stage here, just given that the caution's out now. It's only a short stop for fuel, but it's certainly, if he's planning on pitting during the stage break, it'll make his pit stop much faster. Or if he just wants to stay out on the racetrack, he's got that as an opportunity as well. Of course, it's gonna put him on a different cycle, a different strategy. To wait and see how this one plays out for Chris Elliott. Really looks like only 4 drivers taking the chance here to hit pit lane. And really, you can't even count Stubblefield because he was down there for some repairs, I'm sure. Have to watch these guys out, see how it plays out throughout the rest of the run here. If this extra fuel, a few laps shy of the stage break, really plays a part and makes a difference. We'll have to find out. Field's lined up though, 2x2 down the back stretch, Thunder Alley as it were. Going back green flag racing the next time by. Lap 34 as we get to green. Truck is off. Barney with the green in hand. We're racing once again from Rockingham. The advantage here, just shy of 6/10 over the 3 of Brian McCann. Brandon Mefford runs P3. Neil Quick, Matt Sisler, the top 5. Big mover so far, Drew Prale in the 12th spot. Up 7 positions. Gotta hand it to these guys at this stage of the race. Get 36 laps in. This car is a handful. This track is a handful. Only one caution to speak of to this point. Guys are doing a good job keeping everything facing the right direction. to bottom, looking for a way around. DeFries just ahead of the 119 of Eric Beadle for the moment. DeFries now putting the pressure on the 21 of Jesse Redding. Redding with a little bit of right front damage on the nose of his machine. DeFries way up the racetrack once again. Let's ride on board. Big time run for DeFries, but nowhere to go. Drops it to the bottom. Typically, guys will dive for the low side of the racetrack and allow the race car to slide up. But DeFries had the 21 to his right elbow. Had to stay out of the throttle a little bit longer than he had planned. One car in the fence. Gets stuck up there for a minute. It's Mike Fahey. Will Hewitt, pressure coming from the back there again. Now it's Jesse Redding. And another car in the fence, it sounded like. Didn't catch who it was, but somebody was scraping the right side for sure. Might have been Mike Fahey again, I'm not sure. More damage on the right front of the number 19. Caution is on the speedway. We have completed lap 40. Caution now on the speedway again for the second time today. This one for our stage break. Top 10 was Millett, McCann, Mefford, Quick, Gones, Tristan Sykes, Matt Sisler, Vincent Short, Drew Prale, and the 13 to Joe Tucker. That's your top 10 finishers here at the stage from Rockingham. Expect to see these drivers head down pit lane here, seeing as how the majority of them have yet to visit their pit crews this evening. They're getting lonely down there. We'll see what work they have set aside for those crew members, whether it's fuel only or fuel tires or a combination. Field working into turn 3 here. Should be catching the pace car in just a moment. In fact, there it is. The pace truck collects the field, middle of 3 and 4. Millett, McCann, Mefford, Quick, Gones. Pretty much everybody from the top spot all the way on down on the lead lap. They're going to hit pit lane here. Coming to the attention of their crews, see if they're just going fuel or fuel and tires. Again, 2 sets available over the wall. We're just past third distance here, roughly. Millett, McCann into the box. Right sides go up for Millett. McCann stays on the ground. He's going fuel only. McCann drops the jack. He's on his way. 4 tires in fuel for Millett coming down here. Brian McCann was fuel only. Brandon Mefford was fuel only. Neil Quick was fuel only. Matt Sisler, Tristan Sykes, Vincent Short, all the way down to, it looks like Drew Blaze in 12th, took tires. Eric Beadle, Mark Truxell, tires as well. Mike Tucker, tires and maybe some repairs. Chris Elliott also putting tires on. Now, I'll warn you guys, Brian McCann on no tires on this pit stop. It's great. He's going to be up front when we get the restart here, but he's going to likely drop like a rock, trying to hold off those guys with fresh rubber in behind. McCann's going to be quick regardless, but I don't think he's got enough pace to maintain it ahead of the drivers with new tires. So keep an eye on that. As it stands, though, the good luck, the good news, I guess you could say, for Brian McCann is now he still has 2 sets of tires over the wall. If you can manage to complete this pit stop, this run, this pit cycle without getting lapped, he should be in a very good position, because now all those guys that made a pit stop this time by took tires. They're going to have to make a decision at some point later on in this race when to not take those tires. Kind of put them in the same position that McCann is in. But again, Brian's decision to take no tires this time through in the pit cycle, he's one of very few that have opted to do it, whereas just about everybody else up and down pit road took their first set. Chase Truck with the field in tow. Going back, green flag racing. Mefford's going to restart to the outside, but again, remember we talked about having to go to the back of the pack. That was Millett, Quick, Rose, Short, Jones, and Truxell. Those penalties enforced at the end of the stage, the beginning of the next stage. There are only one break in this series, 4 stages, so there's 2 stages. Obviously, this one ran to about lap 41. Green back in the air. McCann back to the lead here. Lap 47 goes up on the board. Matt Sisler running in the second spot, closing the gap quickly on the 3. Again, Sisler with fresher tires compared to Brian McCann. We expected this to happen. Meanwhile, a battle for the 3rd spot. Tristan Sykes diving to the bottom on Brandon Mefford. He's going to take the spot handily. Again, Mefford not taking tires. Sykes does. Back out front, battle for the race lead. Sisler to the inside, turn number 1. He's going to have it. Likely not going to be very much contesting here by the 3 of McCann. Off turn 2, Sisler, P1. McCann back to 2nd. Stays pretty close to the 93, considering he's on older rubber. It still had a decent exit out of turn 2. Sisler starting to stretch it out here. 3/10 the advantage, back to 2nd place. DeFries took a look to the inside of Brandon Mefford for a moment. DeFries also with newer tires. Somebody in trouble here. I think Eric Beadle might be, yes, just now leaving pit lane. A problem for the 119. Beadle back in the pits here. Let's see if we can find out what happened here with Eric Beadle. See, he's already in the wall here. Let's back it up a bit further, see what's caused this. Did he just get a little too wide on exit? Now he had some trouble. Lost the rear end of the car. He had a stubble field here. Gets up out of the groove. Has to correct. Little tank slap. Pounds the outside wall. Good job for Beadle, though, to keep it up there and stay out of trouble. At least any more trouble, that is. Pulls it hard left down to the pits. Oh, and he loses it again. A little too aggressive getting her down there. But we don't get a caution for it, so we'll let it go. Sisler still out in front over now Tristan Sykes as he's taking over the 2nd spot. Brian McCann now going to have to worry about P3 as Alan DeFries closes in for that position. DeFries, again, we said it before, he does have fresher tires compared to McCann. McCann continuing to kind of free fall backwards. Very quickly working his way up through the field. Again, new tires for the 315. Restarted with his EOL penalty about 16th or so. He's already up in a 5th and trying to get more here. McCann up the racetrack. Millett going to take over the 4th position now, lap 55. Brian McCann still losing positions. Drew Blaze trying to make his way around. So let's look at the top five again. Matt Sisler, Tristan Sykes, Zach Millett now third, Alan DeFries fourth, Drew Blaze in fifth. And we got trouble. Neil Quick spinning down the backstretch. Yellow on the racetrack.
Give us an update on that card.
Neil Quick into trouble here. Slight contact with the inside pit wall. So let's get a look at Neil Quick's incident here. We caught the tail end of it. I'm going to try to find it here. Definitely saw him turned around. Might have to go further. No. Oh, Vincent Short just drives right up underneath the two. Neil Quick gets turned and sent down to the inside wall. Let's back it up further here. We definitely saw the 15 get into the back of Neil Quick here on corner exit. I'm going to ride on with Vincent Short and see what happened. We'll ride from his in-car, driver's eye cam. And we'll go real time. Okay, we'll back it up again. Roof cam from Vincent Short. So, the way I'm looking at this, it very well could have been Quick had to save the race car on the exit of the corner, had to lift. While Vince had quite a run himself. Let's ride on board with Neil, see if he has to get out of the throttle here. I'm betting that's what happened. Yeah, there it is. Didn't take much. He lifted for just a hair, but you saw he had a lot of right turn into it, trying to keep it from coming around, turning into the skid. Unfortunately, Vincent Short drove right into him. Didn't catch that he was off throttle in time. It was just the worst situation. Third caution of the night for Neil Quick and Vincent Short. Looks like the 80 Drew Prowl was involved in that as well. He got a piece of that. So we're going to take a break here. We'll be back to restart after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Rockingham Speedway, 60 laps in, still a handful shy of halfway. 93 of Matt Sisler, your race leader. Tristan Sykes in the red number 99 to his outside. He's second place. Millett up into the third spot. Then it's Alan DeFries and Drew Blaze. His pace truck pulls on down. And we get ready to go back racing, and we're in the throttle, and we're back underway. A little wheel spin out of the 93. Doesn't deter the 315 as he rolls up into the second spot, a car length and a half off the back bumper of Sisler out of turn two. And just like that, Millett takes a look to the bottom in turn three, slides up, can't get the power back down here, but maybe he's going to try it again. Exit at turn four, Millett back to the point. So now it's Millett, Sisler, Sykes, DeFries, and Blaze, your top 5. Sykes trying to put the attack on P2 now. He wants to roll himself up into that second spot. Sisler's going to have to settle for third for now, but he's going to fight back. He is. Still has the right front alongside, but now Tristan Sykes gets clear down through Thunder Alley. For the second spot, Tristan Sykes on the attack, was trying to take it away from Sisler, but right now Sisler continues to fight back. Sykes was clear for a moment, but Matt doesn't want to give up here. Watching this battle here, Sisler has gotten in behind Tristan Sykes now as he's finally clear of the 99, that is, but Alan DeFries is going to look to the inside. Had a big run out of 2, had to try and do something with it, drops it to the bottom, gets alongside the 93, slides back in behind off of 4. Brian McCann, even with the old tires, still hanging on to that 5th spot. Good run so far for the 3, but Alan DeFries, most impressive right now. He's up 13 spots. So we are just now past halfway from Rockingham Speedway. We haven't done it just yet. We haven't really had an opportunity, but past halfway, we got to do it. HBR TV, side by side. Stay with us. You won't miss a minute of the action. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Rockingham Speedway, 4th caution of the day. Matt Sisler around off of turn number 2 into the backstretch infield pit wall there. Let's see what happened with Sisler. It looked like Mefford was just starting to work to the outside. Don't know if there was contact as we were in break, but let's look at the replay, see what happened to the 93. You see Mefford there top side. Oh, yeah, big time. Mefford had a huge run on the outside, and Sisler just keeps coming up. It's a tough one to kind of call there. Let's look at it again. Mefford just keeps trying to go wider and wider and wider, and Sisler keeps coming up. I don't know if you want to call it a block or not. If it's a block, then, well, honestly, I don't have any sympathy for the 93. If you're going to block, you got to take it with a grain of salt when you get run into and spun. If it's not a block, well, we'll have to see what both sides have to say about it, of course. But Sisler still came up the racetrack, and there was a very hard charging number 83 of Brandon Mefford that was not going to be able to slow down, regardless of why the 93 was up there. But there you have it. Third caution of the night. Matt Sisler, Brandon Mefford coming together. Stops underway. Sisler still in the pits. Again, no fast repair in this series. Going to have to fix it the old-fashioned way. Not sure. He might even had to tow it back. No, he's getting repairs done now, so at least he's back there. It's going to be a tall order for the 93, though, the rest of the way. Oh, Matt Sisler letting us know what really happened in the chat. We do appreciate that. He says, I had him cleared, but I clipped the downshift and lost speed, so it's my fault. Well, either way. I do like guys that are willing to fall on the sword like that. I mean, a lot of times you get a guy and it's evidence. It's clear as day that it was their fault. And he'll tell you until the sky turns a different color. No, that wasn't me. I didn't do nothing. Sisler doesn't appear to be one of those guys. So back out front, pace truck lights still ablaze. Should expect them to be extinguished the next time cross start and finish. We should get the one to go. Millett, McCann, the top two. Those drivers still staying on the racetrack during this caution, not opting to hit pit lane. Again, McCann made his pit stop at lap 57. It's his second stop of the day. Looks like he took his tires at that point. Millett, he took his tires much earlier, about 15 laps prior to the 3 of McCann, so he's still on that older set. We've had a couple of cautions too, though, so that's helped the 315. Millett with just one set of tires left over the wall. Same story for Brian McCann. Looks to be the same situation for Tristan Sykes. I would say likely for Brandon Mefford. I can't confirm it 100%, but Alan DeFries, the same situation. He's only made one pit stop. So there you see it. The official iRacing pace truck lights have gone off. So all that means is we're going to be racing the next time back to start finish. Zach Millett going to lead the field down over Brian McCann, Tristan Sykes, Brandon Mefford, Drew Blaze, Alan DeFries. Top 6 in various orders. Pace truck makes a hard left into pit lane.
Green.
Flag back in the air. Alan DeFries and Drew Blaze fighting it out. DeFries had to chase it up the racetrack there. Thought he was going around. It didn't happen. Battle ahead of them as well. Mefford and Tristan Sykes going at it. Mefford up top, Sykes on the bottom. Sykes tucks in behind the 83 of Brandon Mefford for the time being. Meanwhile, Neil Quick, a little hot under the collar, I would assume, but he's working his way back into that top 5, currently running in the 6th position after his spin the previous caution. Alan DeFries way loose on a turn 4, drops into the apron. Keeps her going straight. We stay green. Continuing to watch this battle with Sykes and Quick. Quick loose, so is Tristan. Both drivers having to chase it out of 2. Quick gets clear, and he's going to start to drive away, it looks like. Sykes back on the bottom, trying to stay out of the dirty air. Change for the race lead. Brian McCann underneath Zach Millett. Drag race to start finish. I think Millett led that lap, but I don't know if he's going to lead the next one. Still stays out ahead of the 3. Remember, Millett with older tires, about 15 laps older. Great battle here at the front of the field. Zach Millett continues to lead over Brian McCann. McCann has the pace. He has the fresher rubber underneath the race car. Millett doing a good job defending for the time being. We'll see if McCann can get alongside. If he can get by Zach, I think he'll start to check out. But right now, Millett doing all he can to keep the 3 in the rearview mirror. Talked about fuel early on. 80% maximum capacity means about a 50 to 53 lap window if we're to run all under green flag. So we're still gonna have to make one more stop before this one's over. Millett slides up the track. I think we can loosen him up just a hair. Millett did a masterful job at least hanging on to that spot for a little while. It looks like McCann's finally going to take it away here, back to the stripe. McCann out in front, Millett tucks in behind the 3. Meanwhile, it's allowed Neil Quick and Brandon Nufford both to reel these guys in considerably, as Quick is on the charge still. He's up into the 3rd spot, takes the spot from Brandon Nufford. Top 4 in a line down into turn 3. Quick up the racetrack into the loose stuff there. In fact, that just might be the line he's running at this point. That top lane up by the wall might be starting to come in. If it does, a guy like Neil Quick can certainly take advantage. You can see Tristan Sykes probably do the same thing. He's used to running real close to that outside wall. And Sykes, real loose out of turn 2 though. Gathers it up. It's going to lose some speed here. He's going to lose a spot to Drew Blaze. Move Sykes back to P6. Mike Tucker running back in 13th. Alan DeFries, he's going to hit pit lane here under the green flag. I'm going to assume here this is a scheduled stop, and this should be his final stop if it is the case, because he can make it to the end on fuel at this point. 40 laps to go. 4 tires and fuel for Alan DeFries. Going to drop the jack here and get back into it. There it goes. Alan DeFries, 15.27 seconds in the pit box. So Alan DeFries apparently looks to be the first driver to pit last. I know I say that all the time, and well, fact is, it's true. It does tend to work. As long as we stay green and things cycle the way that they should, DeFries could be in a decent spot for a good finish with that strategy. Meanwhile, Timmy Stubblefield is going to take the number 92 Stub Nation machine. A little beaten and battered. He's going to pull it into pit lane here. This could be his final stop. Don't know if he's getting some repairs or this is scheduled for fuel. Doesn't appear he's putting tires on it. Chris Elliott, the number 29 History Channel Chevrolet. He's going to pull in as well. Four tires and fuel for the 29 of Chris Elliott. He's going to get back out there as well. So some green flag stops underway here at Rockingham. Curious to see when we'll start to see some of these leaders pull down. But I don't know if I'm going to gamble here. If I'm Zach Millett, Drew Blaze, I think these guys really that are starting to get some distance behind the race leaders. I might even consider taking my final set of tires here the next couple of laps. Let's just round it to 100 laps. You take that opportunity to pit, come down, take the tires, the only set that you have left. Granted, if caution comes out late, you're kind of euchred, but the way it runs right now, if we can make it all the way to the end, they're good to go on fuel. They'd be good to go not just for advertised distance, but likely a handful of green-white checkered finishes if necessary. And in the meantime, if they pit right now, they're going to force the drivers out in front to do the same because they're going to undercut those guys and be much faster on the fresher tires. I don't know if Tristan Sykes is listening to the broadcast or maybe he's just smart enough to do it, but he's in pit lane right now. We'll see what Sykes ends up doing here as far as his pit work is concerned. Sykes with Poor Choices Neighborhood Bar and Grill on the hood. Sounds like a place I need to check out. Drops the jack, Tristan Sykes. He's away, 15.10 seconds for the 99. Drew Blaze, Joe Tucker also in the pits. Of course, the only one I can't get a camera on here. Drew Blaze, you can barely see him there through these pit crews. There we go. Right side's in the air for the one of Drew Blaze. Ooh, long stop for Drew Blaze. He's been in there a bit. That's just the right side change. He's already got 25 seconds in. I don't even know if they took left sides or not, but a very long stop for Drew Blaze. We're talking 10 seconds longer than you really should be. You're looking at a football field, a little bit less at these speeds, but a football field every second. And there it is, Zach Millett in pit lane here. He's going to make this pit stop, his final one of the afternoon. 4 tires and fuel for the 315. He's down and away. Good stop for Millett, too. 14.77 seconds. And as we said, you try the undercut, you force the guys to pit, and well, there you have it. Race leader Brian McCann pulls it down into pit lane. He's going to make his final stop of the afternoon. There it is for McCann. 4 tires and fuel. 14.8 second stop for the 3. Not too shabby either. Matt Kopp hasn't had a perfect night. He's running top 10 when he makes his final stop, though, with 26 laps remaining. Brandon Meffert, Neil Quick also in pit lane here with 25 to go. Final round of pit stops underway here from Rockingham. Is Quick going to just take fuel here? Looks like it. Just a splash and go for the 7.5 second stop. That's fast. With 24 laps to go, I don't know if that's going to pay or not. We're going to have to wait and find out. Meanwhile, Will Hewitt, new race leader here at Rockingham, the number 33, is cycled up to the point. 24 laps to go. Hewitt's going to have to pit, or does he? 130, 20, no, he's, I don't know. It's going to be tight. I don't think he can make it. His pit stop coming at lap 74. That's going to leave him a few laps short unless he can really save fuel. 53 laps we thought was the maximum distance you're going to be able to run on a tank of fuel. If he goes at 53 laps, he's going to run out at about lap 127. Again, 130 laps the race distance. Hewitt's going to have to make a stop for a splash. Enjoying an 8-second lead over Drew Prale right now, but Prale pit the same time as Hewitt. Truxell in third. He pit at lap 57. He definitely needs to stop. Same for Fahey. Same for Sisler. They're 74 lappers. Vincent Short now in the pits as well, making his last stop of the day. But Ryan McCann looks like he may cycle back to the race lead once the top 5 or 6 drivers complete their pit work. There's some smoke on the racetrack here. Who did we have go around? Anybody? Neil Quick, is he back in the pits? Or did he get a penalty? 55.03, that was the stop for the 2 of Neil Quick. Must have got an unsafe exit or maybe a blend line violation leaving the pits. That's going to end Neil's afternoon, at least as far as the hunt for a race win, having to come back down with a mistake on pit lane. Mark Truxell also in the pits. Truxell, the number 5 Chevrolet. Usually has Little Tate's cupcakes on that machine. Keep forgetting to get him squared away. We got to get him a proper paint one of these days. Truxell's going to get back out there. As it stands right now, everybody except for the top 4, a lap down or more. Caution would really help those guys get their pit work completed without giving that up. Remains to be seen for the time being, though. It's Hewitt, Prale, Fahey, Sisler. Hewitt up the racetrack. Vincent Short with fresh tires. He's going to get his lap back. Also going to take his lap back. Millett now in the lucky dog, but he's probably not going to wait for a yellow to make his move. He needs to keep up there with Brian McCann. Again, 1 lap newer tire for Millett, but McCann had a lead over Millett at the time of the pit stops. Zach was able to make up some time on the in and out, as he typically does. 16 laps to go. Top 6 drivers on the lead lap here. Hewitt, Prale, Sisler, Fahey, McCann, Millett. If somehow, some way, the top 4 drivers that made their pit stops at lap 74, if they can save enough fuel to make it all the way to the end and go 56 laps on a full load, which I don't know if that's going to really happen, but if they can, I don't think the guys behind them, and that's Brian McCann and Zach Millett, have enough time to catch them and make that pass. They're going to be faster, but they're just ahead of the leaders right now. They're on the same backstretch, and 5th and 6th are probably, I don't know, let's say 7/8 of a lap behind the top 4 drivers that we think are going to need to pit, but I don't know. Maybe they found a way to save enough fuel to make it all the way to the end. Let's ride on board with the leader, the 33 of Will Hewitt. See if he's saving fuel. Hewitt's not pushing the car very, very hard, but he's also not doing the lift and coast. Which in a place like this, I don't know, it's certainly possible. It can be done. But it is very bumpy. And you really need to be focused on keeping that car from coming around, especially in the lift and coast. If you're just carrying the car through the corner, coasting, you really don't have the right front loaded up and into the racetrack to get it to turn. You can hit those bumps, you can upset the balance of the race car, it can be tight, it can be loose. A lot can happen. His Mefford's going to take his lap back as well. So now we got the top 7 on the lead lap. 10.5 laps to go. Now, if I'm the top 4 in this instance, or top 3 now, as some drivers have made pit stops, in the top 2, Will Hewitt, Drew Prale, you pretty much have to run this thing until it's about empty. Fingers crossed for a caution, because they can get a really good finish out of this if the yellow were to come out, and if they still have a set of tires over pit wall. Unknown on Will Hewitt. He's made 4 stops here this afternoon. His last pit stop looks to be 4 tires. It was a quick one, too, 14.6 seconds. Drew Prale, his final pit stop was 8.8 seconds, so it was no tires for the number 80 machine. 9 laps to go. Expect to see Hewitt be in a situation here in about 4 or 5 laps. Now, I don't know if this is new either. He's got a little bit of damage on the right rear of that machine as he's working around Matt Kopp, or Kopp's trying to work to the bottom of Will. Hard to say one way or the other. Seven laps to go. Will Hewitt still 9 seconds ahead of Drew Prale, and now 13.8 ahead of Brian McCann. McCann's made up a ton of time. Still 7 laps to go. McCann's last lap is a 24.64, a full second and a quarter, well, second and a tenth and a half faster than Will Hewitt. The same rate. McCann wouldn't have time to catch him. He would need about 6 more laps than what he's got available to him right now. Still remains to be seen if Hewitt and Prale need to make a pit stop before this one's over. All the number crunchers say yes, he's going to need to pit. And he's not being very aggressive on trying to save fuel, unless he's figured out a different kind of trick. I don't think Hewitt's got enough to make it to the end. We're on lap 125 here. 126 for that matter. 4 laps to go. Continue to watch the 33 of Will Hewitt. Will had a win last season when we ran the trucks. He's trying to do the same here in this Gen 4 Cup car. Still out on the racetrack. 3 laps to go for Will Hewitt. I will say, watching Will right now, his laps have become very, very consistent. He's running the same line every lap, not missing it by an inch. Brian McCann up into the second spot. 2 laps to go. Hewitt's already gone further than we've expected him to, but does he have enough? Does he have a lap and a half of gas left to carry this race car to the checkered flag? He's got 9 seconds on Brian McCann. Working along Matt Sisler here, lap car. Neil Quick coming up in behind as well, a lap car. Final lap from Rockingham. Does Will Hewitt have enough gas to get it all the way back around and win this race? Oh, we got contact in behind them. Neil Quick and Matt Sisler coming to blows. Tristan Sykes in the wall. Final couple of corners for Will Hewitt. It's still under power. Final corner, checkered flag in the air. Will Hewitt's done it. Will Hewitt takes the checkered flag over Brian McCann and Zach Millett. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. That was a long run on fuel. And I don't know if Will's got enough left to even do a burnout. We'll find out. We'll ride inside real quick. He's still on the power. Will Hewitt victorious here at Rockingham. Donuts like a CNC machine here on the front stretch. Somebody's got to check Will Hewitt's browser history for YouTube videos of Kevin Harvick burnouts. He's been doing some studying, it looks. Will Hewitt super excited to cash in a race win here. Race number 2 of the season. Gets him into the playoffs already very early on. Watch out for Will Hewitt to be a contender here. We're going to jump out, get a break out of the way, get our top 3 finishers back in the broadcast booth after this. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Rockingham Speedway, race number 2 of the No Bull Racing Series in the books. Will Hewitt victorious, taking the checkered flag on some fuel strategy here late. Hewitt had some pace, but he made it pay, stretching the fuel just a few extra laps. Didn't have to make that final pit stop. Let's pull the driver, number 33, up into the broadcast booth and get a word with our race winner, Will Hewitt. Will, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Will, congratulations, man. A thrilling and victorious racing win here at Rockingham. You had some pace early on, but maybe not quite enough for Millett or McCann. But, man, you stretched those fuel, a handful extra laps. How did you get that car to go more than 53 laps on a tank of fuel?
Yeah, so, I knew I had nothing for them on speed. They were just bad fast. So, I pitted under caution with, I think it was like 56 to go there. And, I just really wasn't even getting wide open on that last run there. I was just really trying to take it easy, and it worked out. I was 2 to the good there.
Well, your race win here is going to put you into the playoffs. I know last season you didn't necessarily run all the races. What is the plan this season? Is it a part-time schedule, a full-time schedule, or now with this race win, you're going to try and go all the way to the end and make a championship run?
I'm full-time in these cars, these 4th Gen Cup cars, man. They're so much fun. I'm a big high horsepower guy, and I expect to win a couple more.
Certainly looking forward to it, Will. Again, awesome to see you back in victory lane, especially here in the No Bull Racing Series. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you get going?
Yeah, I just want to shout out Jeff Napier and Jeff's famous steak sauce. We had them on the car tonight. It's an honor to have them on the team. Short track king. It's an honor for anyone to have them as a sponsor. So, shout out to Jeff.
So, for those that don't know who Jeff Napier is, Jeff was a driver in this series back when we called it Superior Class Auto Racing, and Jeff managed to roll a street stock under caution before we even went green.
It was glorious.
Somebody's got a replay of it somewhere. Maybe we'll get it in one of these HBR TV ads one of these days.
I am all for that, man.
All right, well, again, congratulations, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week out in Vegas.
Thank you.
Will Hewitt, your race winner here at Rockingham. Always good to see one of the old Scar vets get a race win here in No Bull. We'll talk to Brian McCann next, our runner-up. Driver the number 3. Pull him up to the broadcast booth. Brian, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got me?
Hey, I do. How's it going?
It's going good, Brian. Once again, talking to us here up in the booth. It doesn't seem to get old, but a P2 finish here tonight. It looks like they got you just on fuel economy here. That's really what it came down to. You guys made pit stops after the lap 100 mark to make sure you had enough, but it wasn't quite enough to outlast Will Hewitt stretching the fuel. You guys had the pace over the 33 for sure, but walk us through your race. Was there any strategy plays that you could have done differently?
Yeah, I tried not taking tires at the stage. That was a mistake, but I got a little lucky. The caution came out and saved me. I think I was going to be go a lap down if it would have went green. So luckily that caution came out and went in and got 4 new tires, and that actually helped me a little bit because I came up back through the field and got around Zach. And I thought it was going to be a race between me and him, and then that late caution came out, and I was running the numbers on it. I was like, there's no way you make it. There's no way. But big congrats to Will for figuring that out. I didn't think it was possible, but he showed us it was.
Definitely made it work, takes the checkered flag, but that puts this race in the books. Next week, though, we go out to Sin City, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. These Gen 4 Cup cars are a handful no matter where we go. Obviously, this place was quite difficult, but next week, bigger racetrack, a little smoother than what we have here at Rockingham. How do you feel about your shot next week?
Oh, I love those styles of tracks. Not sure how I'll do in this car. I think it'll be the first time I've been there in a while in this car, but yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes.
Certainly look forward to it, Brian. Again, congratulations, a solid runner-up finish here at the Rock. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, my family, wife, everybody watching tonight, you for doing the broadcast, league admins for putting this on, our sponsors, huge shout out, thank you. And drivers, man, thank you for showing up. Good racing.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Brian. Good luck next week at Vegas. Brian McCann, your second place finisher. I tell you, the way that he gives an interview, and as often he's up here doing it, he should just have an easy button on a stream deck or even just a hotkey somewhere to spit out who he wants to thank, because it's the same ones every week, but they're loyal and they're there all the time. So let's pull Zach Millett up into the booth next, get a word with our third place finisher, Zach Millett. Zach and Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Steve. What's up, man?
We're doing well, sir. Race number 2 in the books. You finished here third. Not quite where you expected, but some guys out in front of you had a little bit of pace. Some other guys had better fuel strategy. Walk us through your mindset, what you could have done different. Did you think about maybe trying to work the similar strategy that Will Hewitt, maybe Drew Prale did, making their pit stop with 56 to go and never looking back?
Yeah, I certainly did. I even said on stream, I mean, we had the opportunity to pit, I think, from the lead and just know that we could make it. But you know how it is. If you pit knowing you can make it to the end, and if it's close, you know there's going to be like 6 more cautions.
Well,
And
it's that too, and you also got to worry about the green-white checkers if that comes to fruition. I know you and Brian were in a very good shape as far as that went. You came down at 101, he was 103. If we had yellows late, you'd have been in a great situation, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if a bad day's third place, we things are going pretty well, you know, and we got all the bonus points we need to get. You know, I think we took the pole, led most laps, took the stage, in whatever order that is. So it was a really good day. It's kind of all we can fight for this season, get the bonus points, and try like hell to make it in the playoffs, knowing we can't make the full schedule.
Well, with that said, we didn't even expect to see you here tonight, and instead you still managed to show up and take a top 3 position. So obviously, like you even mentioned, a solid points night. Next week is Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're going to have to work for that one? You're going to be around?
Oh yeah, I definitely have to work. If I can scam that one off, it'd be a miracle, but I definitely plan on missing next week for sure.
Well, either way, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Nevertheless, a solid start to the season. A couple of good finishes here to get things rolling. Who do you want to thank before we let you go, Zach?
I got to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV, HBRTV1.com, HBRShops.com. I got to thank Right Turn Racing, Gones, Redding, all the guys that kind of keep everything in order here over for Noble. It's a hell of a league to be a part of. These guys are a blast to race with every week. I got to thank Track Bar Media, Eric Dodson State Farm, Castle Pack Power, and shoot me a follow over on the Twitch world at ThatS4Guy.
Zach Millett, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck in the next race that we see you whenever it may be.
Thanks, buddy.
Zach Millett, your third place finisher here from The Rock. Let's take a look at our official race results. Pull them up here. Of course, Will Hewitt, Brian McCann, Zach Millett, your top 3. Drew Prale was 4th. Brandon Mefford, 5th. Chris Goins, P6. Drew Blaze was 7th. 8th went to Tristan Sykes. Mike Fahey was 9th. Joe Tucker finishes out in the 10th spot. 11th place finisher was Michael Tucker. Vincent Short, 12th. Matt Sisler, 13th. Mark Truxell was 14th. Doug Wysocki finishes in the 15th spot. Alan DeFries was 16th. Jesse Redding, 17th. Matt Kopp comes home in the 18th position. 19th place finisher was Chris Elliott. 20th went to Neil Quick. Tough night for the 2. Eddie Rose was 21st. Timmy Stubblefield, 22nd. Eric Beadle, 23rd. 81 laps down after getting into the wall and, well, having an unfortunate go of it. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being in the stream chat. This one got done in a hurry, a lot faster than we really expected it to be. A tough track, a tough race car. Only a handful of cautions to speak of. I think 4, really, to be specific. But and one of those was the stage break. So, honest to God, these guys did a great job just keeping the tires underneath them, keeping the car facing the right direction. More good things to come throughout the rest of this season. These guys just get better and better as the season progresses. Next week, Las Vegas Motor Speedway again. Tune in here, HBR TV, about 8:15 Sunday evening. Hopefully all the football's done, but I'm going to go back and see if I can catch the rest of this Bills game. So that's going to wrap it up for us here at HBR TV. I'm Steve Singer, congratulating Will Hewitt on his win here at Rockingham. We'll see you guys next week at Vegas. Have a good night.